All right. Well, welcome back to Post Frame 360. One of your dashingly well swagged out hosts, Scott Cragg, and Josh.
Along with
Nowlin.
Josh Nowlin. Hey, what happened here? For the people that listen to us, but the ones that watch us on YouTube, something looks different, man.
Well, I could either make something up, like, I stood too close to the weed whacker, or my wife's hair dryer attacked me, which, by the way, guys, so I do get asked a lot, hey, why is your beard so straight? It's a blow dryer, man, like small brush and a blow dryer. But no. So here's the thing, guys. I guess this is my little ad for health. If you work out in the sun and you got blue eyes and red hair, your incidence of skin cancer is pretty high. So I am shaved because I've got my yearly skin cancer check. That's
all right.
Sorry, it's not some cool joke or something.
I was really hoping for something more cool than that, Scott, I got to say.
Well, Well, I can't do that because we've got a guest. All right, guys. So those of you who are watching, we have Kevin Fox with us here today with FoxWerx. As you know, leading up to the National Frame Builders Association, we have been blessed enough to have some of the great keynote speakers. And so Kevin is going to join us this morning and tell you a little bit about him, about FoxWerx, and why you should come to his session. So, Josh, I'm going to let you kind of take it from there. And then, Kevin, it's going to be all yours, buddy.
Sure. All right. Yeah. So, Kevin is in the safety and technical track on Thursday morning at 10:20. Okay. Floor 3. Make sure you're there. I'm sure you'll be there at a session before his, but Kevin's going to spend some time talking about AI and how maybe he can help give you some more information about how you can use that to power your business. And Kevin, I have to say, I was on your website doing a little homework, and my goodness, it's impressive. I love it.
Oh,
I love your website.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, thanks for having me today. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys and discussing a little bit of what I'll be covering when we all meet once again in Oklahoma City. So it'll be my second NFBA in a row, and I got to tell you, it's a great group, man. Like the culture that organization has built is really something to be proud of. The folks are great, always great conversations. And, so I'm really looking forward to coming back again this year.
So you were in Knoxville. I didn't realize that. I must have missed so as a board member, I'm a board member. A lot of our listeners know. And one of our duties as board members is we come in and we introduce the speakers. We sign up for that. So chances are I was probably doing something like that during your session last year. But I have to say, after reading about your session this year, I'm excited about it. And, I might, if it's still available, I might sign up to introduce you just so that I'm in the room to listen to what you have to say.
Awesome. Well, I'd love to have you in there, man. I think it's interesting, where we're slotted in that safety and technology track, it's kind of a wide net, right? So I think, I think it's great that we can have a little bit of a moment to say, hey, here's what you're really getting in this session, so people can understand, all right, is this where I want to be or not? Because, in reality, AI comprises very, very much both safety and technology, right? So a large part of what we talk about, or what I'll be talking about in this session, is our BuilderWerx platform that, basically, while it's very complex technology on the back end, leveraging AI to help builders get found and grow revenues, it's actually not something that you need to be tech savvy to use, right? So, and that's the most important thing. And that's what I like as I go through there and we start talking about what you can do with this great tool. People can quit, especially in this industry, it's a little slower to adopt some technology. People get overwhelmed pretty quickly. And so, if you leave the end of my session confused or overwhelmed, I have completely failed because I want to make it simple enough. And I tell folks that, like, if you're not leveraging AI to get your business found, to raise your revenues, smooth out operations, one of your competitors is.
Right.
You really want to find that on-ramp to adoption as quickly as possible. And what I tell folks is, like, if you can read a text message or you can answer an email, you can use this system or an AI system. And because the the hard work has been done for you. It's all about how making it easy to work with for the customer. So, if I was talking with someone in this space when it was a builder in Texas, and he had a lead flow problem, and basically they just weren't answering their calls enough, right? And so when you look at he had we had run some measurements, and he had about a 15% close rate on the calls that he answered, that his team answered, but he was missing at least 5 a week. Now we know that, and that's on the low end, right? Because he had a pretty robust staff there. We know that about almost 80% of people who you don't answer, they're not going to leave a voicemail.
Right.
They just don't. Nobody wants to leave they're on down to the next blue link on Google, right? And so what we have found so often is how can we leverage AI to help with operational things like that, right? A lot of people will come to us, say, we need more leads, we need more customers. And the first thing I like to look at is their conversion rate with the customers they're already getting. Like, if you've got a hole in your bucket, let's plug those holes, right? Before you go putting more water in it, right? That's just a waste of money. So with that example of that builder, we installed an AI voice receptionist. That basically means you never miss a call. It never goes to voicemail. An AI answers it, sounds like a real person, 24/7 a day, 24/7, doesn't take vacations, and is built to reflect your brand voice and to talk the way you talk with your customers, to follow all of your standard operating procedures, can answer questions, has access to whatever documentation you want to give it. Like, if you have a brochure it needs to be smart on, it'll be trained on your website, maybe trained on some broad, high range pricing to give, to qualify leads, right? However you want to use it. But what happens is you get that set up, and now they got to the point where they were, not missing those calls. So now not only were they not missing calls, they were responding right away, with questions, answering questions, qualifying leads. And so now they, what they gained in that year was over $1 million.
Wow.
They took on, they had an average job around $30,000, the type of stuff that they were working through. That missed 5 calls a week that were qualified leads, and that 15% close rate, they netted about $1 million additional for having a service that's basically, like taking your crew out for a cup of coffee. That is very affordable, and it makes an impact right away. And
especially
so it doesn't have to be scary. Like, oh, I can see what it's doing, right? Or if I have on our website, we might be driving traffic to our website, and I don't know, you may know better your audience, but a lot of times we might have a form to fill out to try to gather lead information, right? Form or a phone number, right? Well, if you don't do that form, then they've bounced. We've lost that opportunity. Another opportunity to take assets you already have, you're already paying for, make them work harder for you. Put an AI web chat widget on there. Again, trained on your website, trained on your FAQs, and answer those questions, qualify those leads. And then when they interact with that, it goes directly into a CRM that kicks off additional automations on the back end. A CRM is basically like a database of your content.
Yeah. Do you tie to HubSpot? Like, is that one of them you can tie to?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Our system comes with its own, because especially we find a lot of folks aren't even using CRMs. A lot of people have leads in their inboxes or in their phones. So it does come. So our package is all in one thing. So it comes with the CRM, the voice recipient. So you don't need another one. But if you're already on another one, we can create a webhook to send it straight over to the other one, so you don't have to change your system.
This is really interesting, Kevin, because Scott and I have been we've been talking a lot on our podcasts about lead generation for our customers. So our clients are these small to mid-sized builders that will be at the conference, right? Those are our customers. And so we're in the process of helping them understand best ways to generate leads themselves. Yeah. But then you're talking about a whole nother side of the business. Now you've got the leads. Now, what are we going to do with them? Right. So if you're one of our listeners that have been listening and to how to generate leads, you're going to probably want to come listen to Kevin and meet Kevin and shake his hand at the show and let him tell you how he can help you do something with those leads and turn it into real revenue for your business.
Sure thing. And I got to tell you, it's really exciting, especially in this space. We have different systems we build out in different niches, and the building industry is growing so fast with people finally starting to uptake and understand, okay, we need to get on this train. And then, like what you said with the lead generation, incredibly important, right? But like what we like to do is first, like, let's take a look at all your foundational materials you have. What are your assets? And are they working as well as they could, and how hard they could, right? So we'll do a snapshot and do an audit of your website to make sure it's loading fast enough, make sure it's mobile responsive, make sure all of that's happening, right? Make sure you are using meta tags and proper what's called schema markup, basically the tags that AI is using to read your website, because AI is not like another search engine. The days of the page of blue links is soon going to go away of Google. You're going to look for AI will be making recommendations, right? So the way AI makes recommendations, there's an entire process on making sure that you are part of that recommendation set. And it starts on the website being structured properly, and then creating particular types of content that's structured and built for AI. And so that's another foundational, easy thing to address to make sure you're doing it. So that's something that we often jump in and help folks get set up. I'll say another area, and this blows my mind, and you've probably talked about this with your listeners, but like one of the most cost-effective ways to get new leads is to use your past jobs as proof points. So if any of your listeners are not sending out Google Business Profile, like Google My Business review requests after a completed job, they are missing out on a ton of free attention and organic traffic. And so that's something, and I've been shocked in this space how many people aren't doing it. It's wild. And so like when this matters for SEO being found, and it matters for what's being called GEO, generative engine optimization, for the AIs finding you, because they look for citations, they look for high ranking domains that are referring your business. And so those Google Business Profile reviews are huge in driving that traffic. And so the AIs will recommend you more greatly if you have those, as well as help separate from the competition. Now, like another thing that we do, because again, these folks are all running a business, right? So yeah, they may not be answering, depending on the size of their operation, they may not be answering the phone because they're up on a roof. Well, there's a voice receptionist to handle that for us. Well, I may not be sending out a review request because, well, we just got done with that job. I'm getting my truck ready for the next day. I don't have time for that noise, right? So that's why you use AI to automate that stuff, right? So we build it, it's all done for you. Once we set it up for you, this plays run over and over again, and we'll build out automations to send that review for you request right away. You're not thinking about it, right? You just see the reviews come in and the organic traffic go up.
Yeah. I'm ready. So, go ahead, Scott.
Yeah,
go ahead,
just man, it's like I didn't mean to try to cut you guys off, and I was like a couple of times. We've already covered a lot of ground. I think making this real for our listeners is you got to decide where you're at, right? So I'll tell you, I'm a late adopter to AI. All right, I am cautiously optimistic about AI. I know what it can do. Yep. There are aspects of it that I use. Some of you guys listen right now, you may be going, Meta, SEO, what's all that? Don't feel like, we're talking above and beyond you, because here's the thing, decide your space. Okay. So I'm imagining maybe you've been doing this for a long time, right? I'm thinking of one of our clients right now. He's been doing this a long time. He's got a reputation. He's got plenty of business. This probably is not something for him because he's probably thinking about phasing out of his business before too long. Okay. So this may not be for you. It could be, but maybe not. You might be just getting started. I would say if you're getting started, we always talk about business, right? Budgets. Don't go out and, nothing against having nice things, but don't go out and spend money on an $80,000 fancy truck that's wrapped. Maybe spend a fraction of that and hire someone like FoxWerx who can help you develop your company so that you can do what you're competent doing. Because as a fellow contractor, I know what it's like. I was bidding the work, I was taking the calls, I was doing the work, I was managing my crews. There's a lot going on. And then you get to the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the year and go, well, what about me?
Right.
What about the time to enjoy my family, the fruits of my labor? And so I just say that to kind of, as I'm imagining our listeners, Kevin, listening to you, it's like, well, where does this fit? And I think what I'm saying is that's for you to decide, where does this fit? But don't be overwhelmed. And Kevin, I love how you said that is this is simple. If you could send a text, right? But don't be afraid to pay for services like this. I mean, in 13 minutes, Kevin has laid out a pretty compelling um, argument and a benefit proposition to using these services, and Josh and I can't get into it too deep, but we're doing some things here at Burroughs because here's the thing, right? We got a lot of people calling us. We've got great people that work here, but sometimes how do you manage all the calls? How do you manage all the emails? There's so much going on, and you know this as a consumer. If you pick up the phone and you're wanting to get a service and you don't get to talk to someone or at least think you're talking to a human, click.
Yep.
Or even worse, you don't get a phone call back. Because I'm telling you, if I call you and I'm trying to get services and you don't call me back, you're off the list.
Yep.
Right? So I hope that helps, and I don't wanna take up too much time, but I'm just trying to connect this with our listener right now going, "Okay, I just heard a lot. Now what do I do with it?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I'd like just to add to that, Scott, because you're exactly right. And so maybe Kevin could give us a real low risk
Mhm.
example for our customers that may be wanting to tiptoe into this
Mhm.
and tiptoe into a relationship in which they'll be, paying someone else for services, that they,
Sure.
may not be comfortable with.
Yeah, well, I think the couple things there. I think to bring that point home of you don't have to understand how it all works,
Mhm.
and this is, I would say, this is a differentiator for me and my organization as well. Is we're going to handle it for you, right? So like you can buy an AI service over here and an AI service, right, and different services doing different things. But the problem, a couple things happen. One, they're not vertically integrated, right? They're
Mhm.
all on their own little ecosystem. But when you have a system that's all under one roof, such as ours, all of the AI agents, all of them talk to each other, right? And they all get smarter based on the training data that we build, and we handle all of that for you. So you don't need to learn anything, right? I don't, I've used a nail gun before, right? I don't know how it works. I
Mhm.
know I pull the trigger and a nail comes out, right? But there's a lot of stuff happening in there, right?
Yeah.
But I can pull that trigger, right? So
Mhm.
same thing with this, man. I can click a button and see, oh, I got a new lead, right? Or I can open up my email to say, wow, I just got 3 new leads from my website and they're pre-qualified. Oh, and guess what? The AI agent actually booked a meeting based on my calendar availability, right?
Mhm.
And we didn't even get into that, which is like
Mhm.
giving them tools and tools to use. If you wanted to, you could have them have visibility into your booking calendar and go ahead and book that call, so you don't even have to call them back.
Mhm.
This is when it comes down to your own comfort level.
Right.
Some people are like, "Hey, we're high touch, we're personal, we're going to call them." That's how we do business. That's great, but this
Can I
captured it for you and got it ready, right?
Yeah, I just wanna interject something in there, something you said, and I think there's a good parallel to our company. You had talked about if using your organization, it's all vertically integrated, everything communicates. So it's basically you're a one-stop shop for someone who is wanting to step into AI and managing their business, um, digitally, right? So
Certainly.
where the analogy is for like us here at Burroughs. We are a complete post frame supplier. And I think what Kevin is saying is you can say, well, I don't want to spend X number of dollars with FoxWerx. I'm gonna go over here and try to find, oh, I got a cheaper SEO search engine over here. Oh, and then I found this over here. And so you start piecemealing things together, and maybe you saved a few bucks on the front end, but now who's managing all that, right? What happens whenever one service doesn't talk correctly to the other, or something gets missed and it's 4 months before you realize you weren't getting a phone call? How much money did you lose, right? It's the same thing with us here at Burroughs. You can save some money by going out and piecemealing. Well, I'm gonna buy my lumber here, I'm gonna buy my metal there, I'm gonna buy my screws here. Yeah, you may save some money on the front end, but here's the thing. What happens when you get lumber delivered to a job that is busted or molded or whatever? Well, who did I get that from? Oh, I got that from this person. Oh, can I get that? Well, now you're dealing with multiple people, so you're no longer vertically integrated. You are fractionated, right? And so
Mhm.
you may perceive, well, but I saved money. Did you really?
Right.
How much how valuable is your time? And if you're having to chase down materials and suppliers or talk to this service provider and you really don't understand how all this stuff works, how much time is that keeping you out of the field or in front of your customers, right? And so I just wanted to kind of tie that together because I really, really resonated with what you were saying there, Kevin.
Mhm. Yeah, and it matters because there are so many different kind of piecemeal options out there,
Mhm.
and look, some are better than others. And here's the other thing, like there's a lot of hype around AI, right? And
Right.
I am not what I would call an AI evangelist, right? They're out there and they're like saying it's, they're going to make a lot of promises. I'm an AI pragmatist. I'm not
Mhm.
going to bring anything to you or to your listeners that hasn't been tried, true, proven, and hasn't been done many different times and isn't easy as pie to make it happen. Right.
Right.
So, yes, there's stuff we're on the bleeding edge of stuff that's coming down the pipe, and it's crazy because we're we have development agreements with the large AI companies, and we have a lot of stuff in develop. But like that's not for your audience. You don't even want to know what that's about. You want to know the easy, like, easy step-by-step approach just to leverage what's available today. And really, these are those easy dip the toe in the water moments, right? Like
Mhm.
if you even like maybe you don't even want to, okay, maybe the voice receptionist that I don't want to do that right now. Well, throw an AI powered web chat widget on your website, right? It's
Mhm.
incredibly cost effective. It's going to be gathering leads. It's going to be qualifying leads. You're going to see how it all works. You can see how we can train it on your brand voice and make it seem very, tailored to you. And you're going to start to see, wow, I didn't realize, because a lot of times people like, yes, there's ways to look at your website, through Google Analytics and see about bounce rates and things. A lot of
Mhm.
folks in this space aren't doing that. So they're going to like, wow, I didn't realize how many people we were missing because they weren't filling out our form, but they
Right.
will interact with the web chat.
Mhm.
And studies are showing people would prefer that to a form. So that's one thing, and then also there's some tools that come along with that actually can capture some visibility from folks who don't even engage fully with the web chat. So I think that's one great way to do it. Um, but I think that when I look at from the AI systems, that's usually like the easiest dip the toe in, and people will quickly dive in because they're like,
Mhm.
wow, that's great. The
Mhm.
other side is like, and I'm happy. I always do this for the NFBA group, and I'm happy to do it, especially for your audience as well. I can give you a link if they want to go. We have a little form on our website. If you put your website name in there and your name, we'll do an audit of your website, and
Mm.
we'll give you a sense of, all right, is your website working well for you? Is it that powerful asset? Are you getting enough visibility from it? Is it showing up in SEO? Are the page load speeds fast enough? Is it mobile optimized? How is AI reviewing your site? And
Right.
then it will also rate you on like you versus your competition. If you want, we
Mhm.
can go click deeper to say, okay, you and your competition, here's how they're doing on these metrics. It gives you a grade, A, B, C, D, or F,
Yep. Yep.
right? Makes it really simple.
Mhm.
It'll grade you on your reviews. It'll grade you on a different mess. And another thing that I'll just touch on really quickly, that this is a gold mine for people who don't know. And this is another way to dip your toe in. Listings and citations. I'm not sure how much you've talked about that within your other folks, but like there's a way through, we have a platform called Signal Boost that basically will make your website visible to all the primary data aggregators on the internet. And what this means is you will have high ranking domain authority. So this means the Google search engines and the AIs will see, because you're linked to by all these other high ranking sites, it lifts you up, right? Makes you
Mhm.
more visible.
Mhm.
So things like that are incredibly affordable, make a huge impact right away, and they're completely hands off, right? And so like that's another way, another area. And quite frankly, if they're like, I don't want to do anything with you, Kevin, or your team or your software, please start asking for Google business reviews. Like, dude,
Yeah, at
that's
a bare minimum.
Yeah.
after every completed job, send that out. You can get a link or a QR code to send, make it super easy for people. But like, you don't need me or my software to do that, but do it, and you're going to see a huge impact.
All right, so we got to land this ship, Kevin. This has been really, really good. What I'm going to leave with, and then I'm going to, Josh, have you do what you do, and then Kevin, we're going to give you kind of the last word. But guys, here's the thing: you are going to have to adapt. Okay, you're going to have to adapt, and I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, go all AI." I just told you I'm a late adopter. I'm a very cautious adopter of AI. I still write all my own stuff. Now I'll drop it into AI and say, "Hey, review this for professionalism and clarity," but I still write my own stuff. All right. But you're going to have to decide how to adapt in this changing market. So whether it is utilizing something like AI, what Kevin is talking about to help you on the front end of your business. But then the other thing is, I think about rapid framing system, right? We're slowly bringing this to you guys, but there's no secret. Labor force is drying up. Okay. So if you've been relying on the crews, you've seen what's happened just across our country. Labor is not as readily available as it used to be. Knowledge, skills of building, it's shrinking, right? So either adapt and spend money on things like Kevin, things like Burroughs and rapid framing, because we are trying to help you. And as a business owner, you don't have to know it all. You don't have to have everything on your shoulders. If I'm not doing the internet and if I'm not managing the phones, then I'm just a terrible business owner. That's not true. You know what? One of the best things that you can do as a business owner is make wise choices and ask for help in the areas that you are not skilled in. And that is not a failure. That is a brilliant leader. Okay.
Yes.
So that's my encouragement.
Yeah.
Scott, I don't even know how to follow that. I'll just follow that with this. Okay. Come and introduce yourself to Kevin Fox at this year's NFBA conference in Oklahoma City. Floor 3, Thursday morning, 10:20 is when his session is. And I guess I'll plug FoxWerx. That's FoxWerx group.com.
Yes.
I would log in there and check out that free website audit. That sounds like a good place to start. And thank you for being on the show, Kevin. You've kind of opened my eyes, on several things that, I'll probably be dragging you by the arm at the show, and not to get that free beer you owe me, but maybe to say, hey, instead of a free beer, give us one quick and dirty tip to help us promote our podcast.
I think we could work
through Riverside or whatever. So anyway, Kevin, we appreciate having you on the show. I'll let you say something, and then I'll do a final closeout.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks again for having me. You guys are a lot of fun, and appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the NFBA talk and talking to the group. We talked a lot here about the AI, the connected contractor. As part of that talk, there is also a section on cybersecurity, which is incredibly important and fits very closely into that safety portion of the safety and technology. So another really insightful little section of that presentation. But I think for all those folks who are out there who are like, look, I don't know about all this automation stuff, right? Like, it's scary. Like, well, I mean, I would just say if you're still missing calls or you're not capturing leads on your website, then congrats. Like, you've already automated losing money, right?
Right.
Wow.
So like, maybe stop that, don't lose money for dumb reasons, and just, it can be as simple as a button click and you're on your way. So,
wow. Looking forward to meeting you in OKC, Kevin. To our listeners, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Postframe 360 with your friends, family, and coworkers. Until next time.
And I'm going to change the title. Don't automate losing money. Bro, that is like, you need that on a t-shirt, man.
You're welcome.
Don't automate losing money.
I like it. You
guys inspired it.
Oh, hey, it's all yours, man. Well, hey, we're going to see you at the NFBA, and come find me. We're going to give you some Postframe 360 swag, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Postframe 360.
Bye-bye.